Hey guys, it's Jozy here with another video. So first one of 2023. So I hope you guys had a nice new year. And yeah, we got a lot of things in store for this year. A lot more videos, a lot more source, I should say. So today I'm just kind of making this video for anyone that's looking to jump into the cold email space. Perhaps you're doing like Facebook outreach, Instagram outreach, or even cold calling, and you're looking to charge into the cold email space. So in this video, I'll just be outlining 5 things I wish I would have known before starting cold email. This is going to be no BS version, and really just showing you guys what I was doing, which was bad, and kind of how I changed that really. So the main things I'll be kind of covering in this video will be importance of having a good lead list, volume, testing, patience and focus, and hitting gold. So firstly, in terms of the lead list is kind of the old way I was doing it. So the old way I was doing was having an unclear ICP. So I basically didn't know who I was targeting. I was just saying, yeah, this is the niche around there. I think they're doing this much, but I don't know. I'm just gonna try it out. Which imperfect action is good, but it was just like messy all the time. Another thing I was doing was not having like a good clean sheets of leads and not segmenting them properly. So not having a segmented for positions, locations, etc. And another thing was not testing ICP. So I thought the first ICP, ideal client profile, that I kind of drew up was going to be my one, is going to be the only one I was focusing on. Well, that was kind of the old way I was doing it. Right now, the new way that I'm kind of going about this, and all my clients are going about this, is having a really clear ICP. So what I mean is having the position of your ideal client, the niche they're in, the keywords they use, the problems that they're going through, and also their revenue that they're at the moment. And revenue is actually a really, really big one. The way we kind of go via revenue is via employee size. So of course, if they have money, there's actually going to be buying employees and paying them a good wage. So employee size is a really good one to kind of see how much revenue they're going. So me personally, I don't work with anyone that has less than 10 employees, because I usually find that's kind of the sweet spot for our agency. Another thing I'm doing is also having a clean and segmented lead list. So what we'll be doing right now is making sure that all the leads are verified, using such as like email verification, also number verification, if we're also calling the leads out ourselves after doing a bit of emailing to them, and segmenting the leads via countries and positions. That also helps us with when we set the times that we're sending out emails, making sure the emails are being received at the right time for different countries and different time zones. And another thing is also volume. Now, before, I'll send you like 100 emails a day from one email account, which is completely stupid. Um, but yeah, that was kind of what I was doing before. And another thing I was doing as well was not having consistency with the volume. So I'll send out like emails Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday I'll be so burnt out from them emails that I'll be like, I'm just tired of doing them. And also not looking after deliverability rates. So I didn't really know what deliverability was back then. So I was like, I don't know what this is. So I wasn't really doing any of it, from kind of my perspective. And how we kind of do this now in terms of the agencies and the agencies and our clients that we work with is, we send around 800 to 1,000 emails a day from 20 email accounts. We use software to send emails, and that's sending out emails every single day. So consistency is just throughout the whole month, throughout the whole year. Having weekly deliverability checks, and that's when we're seeing, of course, are these emails actually hitting the inbox? And if not, what procedures do we have in place to get them to get the email accounts slash domains back up to spec, which then allows us to, of course, more people see our emails, more people respond equals more bookings. Really, really simple. The next thing is kind of testing. So the old way I was doing was, this is a bit more like an emotional testing, which we don't recommend right now. Is like changing the test every time I was not unhappy, or I was not happy with the outreach. So let's say I'll get lots of bad replies 1 or 2 days in a row. I'll be like, oh my days, my outreach is bad. What is going on? And then I'll just change something. I'll just be like, hey, this is the bad niche. Let's go to another niche. And another thing as well is being unorganized with your tests. So when I did start testing, I would I wouldn't organize the test properly. So I don't know what the last test was. So I'll just be testing via my head, which is the bad way to do it. We don't recommend it at all. And last thing is testing multiple variables at the same time. So changing the niche or changing the position at the same time. So going from marketing director in SaaS to like agencies, founders. It's pretty bad. Like you shouldn't do that. It's not even a fair test. As kind of you say in the science way, it's not a fair test. So changing multiple variables, you actually can't find the variable that's working and that you need to change. So for example, let's say you may be in the right niche, but you're targeting the wrong position. Let's say you're targeting like a sales director when really you should be targeting the founder, CEO. Changing and the niche and the position at the same time, you cannot identify where the right kind of stick or the variable to change to give you a asymmetric return on kind of your results. So that's a bad way of doing it. Right now, how we go about testing is having test batches. So we're already testing in batches. So let's say 500 to 1,000 repeated actions. And then having an organized test center where we can see which test that we've done, the timing behind it. Okay, this test took like 1 week to do. What's the results? Did it hit the benchmarks? And if it didn't, what do we have in place to kind of change the variables? And lastly, having or testing one variables every 500 to 1,000 repeated actions. So this basically allows us, long story short, is just to see, like I said, identify the common problem or the main problem that's kind of the bottleneck in the situation and changing that variable over time, which could be lead list, offer, kind of copy, stuff like that. And then patience and focus. So what I see a lot of people doing is having like 4+ channels to book meetings, changing channels every single week, not studying one channel in depth to kind of get that hitting that goal and getting that return on it, and testing, like I said, 3 variables at a time. So the biggest one for me was like, I will personally say was like changing channels. Like I'll go on LinkedIn, Facebook, even though all these channels work and I've got appointments from every single channel that I've used, it just it was just messy all the time. It was just a lot of chaos, which when running a business, you have other things to kind of take care of. And I would say that was the most kind of chaotic time when I was like, had so many tests going on at the same time that my focus was just split in like 4 different ways. The way we do it now, we advise kind of our clients to do it, is that if you're going to do it yourself, is just to focus on one channel, and also use the testing variables that we just mentioned about testing one variable at a time, studying that one channel till you master it. So studying cold email until you've mastered that channel before moving on to another channel. And essentially waiting 2 to 3 months before making a decision, or in our case would be waiting, of course, after the test batches to make your decision. So that would be the decision, of course, of testing the variables, changing niches, changing channels, stuff like that. Is because what I see in the space a lot is people don't give it enough time to actually reap the rewards. So let's say you might have a good lead list, okay, but the copy is not right, or you may get in positive replies, but you don't know how to follow up, or you don't know how to turn the positive replies into bookings, which then is not really a cold email issue. It's more of like a systems issue that, of course, you can't get positive leads into bookings. And that's why I always look at data and really remove yourself from the results and just look at the data and see what the data is telling you. And via that, you can just change it about and add different tests to see how you can improve the results. And then lastly is just hitting gold. So what I mean by this is the new ways kind of allows us to hit gold really, really fast compared to other agencies, because we're more organized on our approach, and kind of that's how you want to be going about doing this game in terms of getting results. And what do I mean by hitting gold? So hitting gold is when you found a hungry and rich market that can actually buy your product and actually looking for your services or product. Next thing is having a killer offer that they can actually have a positive response to, and they're literally asking you to jump on a call. And essentially last is having a fresh and accurate lead list and having a system to actually build that consistently over time. So every email or every kind of outreach you're sending is going to the right people at the right time. And also having all of this in place is basically like a system which will result in having a full calendar full of appointments, and essentially you get this so much in terms of having bookings and bookings that sometimes you may have to turn the system down or like half the outreach because you can't handle that much outreach or that many meetings in your calendar. And hopefully that's kind of the end of this kind of video. It was kind of a short to medium sized video, and hopefully that helped you kind of understand cold email in terms of a high level perspective. So what you can do now is use my kind of mistakes and kind of avoid them as much as possible. And this allows you to kind of find gold faster, get more meters into your calendar, and essentially scale your business. And lastly, of course, you can do this yourself in terms of taking everything that I've learned and applying this to your own agency. Or of course, this is kind of the end kind of like pitch here. So, or you can just work with us. So our agency, we work with more established marketing agencies doing around 20K per month plus, and we help them essentially add 10 qualified appointments per month on a performance basis. So they only pay after essentially talking to a qualified prospect. And if you're looking to work with agencies such as ourselves, you can schedule a call below on the description. And like I said, it's not a pressure call. I'm just going to talk to you, see if there's anything that we can actually help. And if you are a good fit and we are a good fit for each other, at the end of the call, I'll explain to you how our services work, etc. And then we can just make a decision if this is right for both of us to kind of work together. So yeah, hopefully you like this video. If you do like it, drop like a like below or a comment, and yeah, share the video if any other agency owners that you know are looking to jump into cold email. This would be a good starting kind of a video to tell them what mistakes to avoid. Hopefully that helped, and catch you guys in a bit.